right, Chapter 47, Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of America, Ancient and Accepted Rite, England. Founded 1761, Supreme Grand Commander for the Southern Jurisdiction of the United States, 1929, Mr. John H. Coles. The reader has already been made acquainted with the formation phase of this rite in chapters, looks like 27 through 30 of this book. We are here, therefore, mainly concerned with the framework of the order. This rite, of Jewish origin, has 33 degrees. They are named as follows. Symbolic or blue masonry, the craft degrees. These are practically the same as in lodges under the Grand Lodge of England, Scotland, and Ireland. 1. Entered apprentice. 2. Fellow craft. 3. Master mason. Red masonry or chapters. These degrees are conferred in the lodge of perfection. The presiding officer must be of the 16th degree at least. 4. Secret master. 5. Perfect master. 6. Intimate secrecy. 7. Provost and judge. 8. Intendant of the buildings. 9. Elected knight of the 9 or elect of 9. 10. Illustrious master elect of 15. 11. Sublime knight elect. 12. Grand master architect. 13. Royal Ark of Enoch or knight of the 9th Ark of the Royal Ark or Royal Ark of Solomon. 14. Scottish Knight of Perfection or Grand Scottish Knight of the Sacred Vault or Sublime Mason. All right, a council of princes of Jerusalem confers the next 2 degrees. 15th, Knight of the East or Knight of the Sword. 16, Prince of Jerusalem. A chapter of princes of Rose Cross confers the next 2 degrees. 17, Knight of the East and West. 18, Knight of the Eagle and Pelican, Sovereign Prince Rose Cross of HRDM. Black Masonry or Philosophical Lodges or Areopagus degrees are conferred in the Consistory of Princes of the Royal Secret. 19th degree, Grand Pontiff or Sublime Scotch Mason. 20, Grand Master of all symbolic lodges. 21, Patriarch Nochite or Prussian Knight. 22, Prince of Lebanus, or Knight of the Royal Axe. 23rd degree, Chief of the Tabernacle. 24th, Prince of the Tabernacle. 25, Knight of the Brazen Serpent. 26, Prince of Mercy, or Scotch Trinitarian. 27, Sovereign Commander of the Temple. 28, Knight of the Sun, or Prince Adept. 29, Grand Scottish Knight of St. Andrew. 30th, Grand Elected Knight of Kadosh. Illustrious Knight of the Temple, Knight of the White and Black Eagle, Grand Elected Knight Kadosh. White Masonry is administrative and consists of 3 degrees conferred by the Supreme Councils. 31st degree, Grand Inquisitor Commander. 32nd degree, Sublime Prince of the Royal Secret. 33rd degree, Sovereign Grand Inspector General. In a sketch of the philosophy, traditions, and records of the Masonic Order of the Red Cross of Constantine by the editor, see the Rosicrucian Masonic Record, page 204, we read, the premier conclave of England, which has existed from time immemorial, gave rise, it is said, to the foundation of the Council of Emperors of the East and West, a body which was established in Paris about the year 1758 and is considered as the parent of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite. Compare with page 336. The Scottish Rite, according to Le Forester, issued from the chapter of Claremont as a development of the Ramsay Rite. Its foundation dates from 1748, at which period it was introduced into Germany by Count de Schmittu. The Supreme Council is the archstone of this edifice of degrees. It is composed of a minimum of 9 and a maximum of 33 members. Grand Inspectors General of 33rd degree. Is that a secret 33? It is presented in its present form. The Rite in France dates from 1804. At that date, the pecuniary situation of the Grand Central Lodge was, however, not up to its pretensions. It was already in debt. Brother de Grasse had personal debts, and Brother Abraham was a man of venal character. The Grand Orient paid the debts of the Grand Scottish Lodge and of Brother de Grasse, making a life pension of 800 francs to the brother Abraham and proposing the annexation of the Grand Central Lodge to the ancient accepted Scottish Rite among those recognized by the Grand Orient. In 1804, in France, the Supreme Council of Sovereign Grand Inspector General of the 33rd degree of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite was duly constituted. In the construction of this council, commented Alexander F.A. de Grasse Tilly, the son of Admiral, played a leading part. He had been initiated in Paris several years before he went to America, where we find him a colonist of San Domingo. His successor was the Duc de Cayes. As regards the development of Scottish rites in England, Stilson and Hugen state that after the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite had been established in England, the Templar body re-signed control over the degrees of the Rose Cross and Kadosh, which then became incorporated with the Rite as the 18th and 30th. It was therefore necessary to suppress the old ceremonies and relegate them to Templar history, but they were still retained in some of the older English encampments. A revised ritual was issued in 1851, consequent on the omission of the Rose Cross and Kadosh. Another authority, Paul Rosen, makes the following comment. The philosophy of the degree of Kadosh, 30th degree, the apotheosis and real aims of Masonic teaching can be summed up in the following words. I alone, all mine, all for me, by any and every means. Sounds like a kid. There are 7 different ways of carrying out this program and consequently 7 different grades of Night Kadosh, which are: number 1, the Jewish Kadosh. Number 2, the primitive Christian Kadosh. Number 3, the Kadosh of the Crusades. Number 4, the Kadosh of the Templars. Number 5, the Kadosh of Puritan. Number 6, the Kadosh of the Jesuit. Number 7, the Scottish Kadosh, alone true Freemasonry. Presidents of the United States are honored by being made 33rd degree Masons. Scottish Rites, King Edward VII, and countless other magnates were 33rd degree Masons. What does this prove? Unfortunately, nothing. This is the great deception. The success of the entire system depends on the solid integrity of political and social prominence of its affiliates, whose virtues make them valuable as decoys. Ancient and accepted Scottish Rites runs its own secret service, which cooperates with the national secret services of all countries, thus serving the aims and purposes of internationalism. Blanchard himself, of a high Mason whose Masonic studies were introduced by a keen desire to fathom the truth and impart the result of his discoveries to those whom he feared might also be duped, thus sums up Scottish Rites. Let the authoritative teaching of Dr. Mackey be continually borne in mind that the mission and object of Masonry is the worship of the great architect of the universe. It follows that the lodges must have something for their dupes to do, called worship. And what could wicked men and devils invent craftier for better suited to deceive the simple than this very scheme of the ancient Scottish Rite, which now rules the rites of the world? It seizes and appropriates all of religion but its holiness and justice, and all of Christ but his truth and his atonement. It mixes things sacred with things profane till the whole compound is profanity, and quoting the Bible as if it believed it true, which notoriously it does not. It has furnished a dark system which angels flee from and which devils inhabit. Every lodge is a synagogue of Satan, and its ritual is sorcery. Anyone interested in the rituals, etc. of this rite will find much that is interesting in D. Margiotta's Le Culte de la Nature dans la Franc-Macaroni Universal. Masonic philosophy is well summarized in the following expose made of it by a Jewish Mason, Paul Rosen, in Satan Ect C, official ritual of the 33rd and last degree of ancient and accepted Scottish rites. For the Sovereign Grand Inspector General, the 33rd is the last degree of the rite. The order is the great avenger of the assassinated Grand Master and the Grand Champion of humanity, for the innocent Grand Master is a man, man who is master, king of nature, man who is born innocent and unconscious. Our innocent Grand Master was born for happiness and for the enjoyment of all rights without exception. But he has fallen under the blows of 3 assassins. 3 scoundrels have thwarted his happiness and rights and have annihilated him. The 3 infamous assassins are law, property, and religion. Law, because it is not in harmony with the rights of the individual man and the duties of social man in society, rights which belong to all. Duties are but the immediate consequence of the right inherent in all for the enjoyment of all rights. Property, because the earth belongs to nobody and its fruits belong to all in proportion as they are required by each for the needs of his own well-being. Religion, because religions are built on philosophies evolved by men of genius and adopted by the people in the belief that they would increase their well-being. Neither law, property, nor religion can be imposed on man, as they annihilate him by depriving him of his most precious rights. They are assassins on whom we have sworn to wreak vengeance, enemies against whom we have declared war to the death and without quarter. Of these 3 infamous enemies, it is on religion that we must concentrate our most deadly attacks, because no people has ever survived its religion. Once religion is dead, law and property will fall to our mercy, and we shall be able to regenerate society by founding on the corpses of the assassins of man, Masonic religion, Masonic law, and Masonic property. Ooh! Who will not see therein the dreaded theories of Marxism and Bolshevism and their results as they are practiced in Russia?